A long time ago, in a small village, there lived a woman named Nkem. She had a daughter, Adanna, who was born blind. The villagers whispered behind Nkem's back, saying a child without sight was a bad omen. Nkem felt ashamed and believed their words. One cold night, Nkem carried little Adanna deep into the forest. The child held her mother's hand tightly, trusting her completely. When they reached a quiet spot, Nkem set Adanna down and said, "Wait here, my child. I will be back soon." Adanna waited. She waited as the crickets chirped. She waited as the wind howled. She waited as the night turned to day. But her mother never returned. Adanna cried, but she did not lose hope. She listened to the sounds of the forest, the rustling leaves, the birds singing, the flowing river. Slowly, she learned how to survive. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Adanna grew up in the forest, learning from nature. Though she was blind, she could hear, smell, and feel everything around her. The trees, the animals, and the wind became her family. Many years later, Nkem's life in the village became difficult. Her farm stopped growing crops. She became sick, and she had no one to care for her. The villagers spoke of a wise seer deep in the forest, a blind woman who could see the past, present, and future. Desperate, Nkem decided to find this seer. She walked through the same path where she had left Adanna many years ago. As she entered the forest, guilt filled her heart. After a long search, she found a woman dressed in white, sitting in a sacred grove. A cloth covered her eyes, yet she seemed to look directly at Nkem. "You have come for answers," the seer said in a calm voice, "but first you must face the truth." Nkem fell to her knees. "Great seer, I have lost everything. My farm is dry, my body is weak, and I cannot sleep at night. Please tell me what to do." The seer stood up and walked toward Nkem. "Do you remember abandoning a child in this forest?" Nkem's heart pounded. Tears rolled down her cheeks. "Yes, I was foolish. I was afraid. I thought she was a curse, so I left her here to die, but I regret it every day." The seer slowly removed the cloth covering her eyes. Though her eyes were white and blind, they burned with wisdom. "You abandoned me, Mother," Adanna whispered. Nkem gasped. "No, it cannot be. Adanna, my child, is it really you?" Adanna did not speak with anger. Instead, she gently held her mother's hands. "The forest raised me, Mother. It taught me patience, wisdom, and kindness, things you never gave me. Though I was blind, I learned to see what truly matters." And Nkem cried, "Can you ever forgive me?" Adanna sighed and said, "A mother's love should never be weak. You let fear control you instead of love." And Nkem bowed her head in shame. "What must I do to make this right?" Adanna smiled gently. "Go back to the village. Tell them the truth. Teach them never to abandon those who are different. Help the weak, love the unwanted, and let wisdom, not fear, guide your heart." And Nkem wiped her tears and nodded. She knew her daughter was right. She returned to the village, confessed her mistake, and spent the rest of her life caring for orphans and those without families. A person's value is not in their appearance, but in their heart. Love should not be abandoned out of fear. The wrong choices we make will always come back to us. But if we truly seek forgiveness, we can find a new path. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps my small YouTube channel grow. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on more amazing stories. Check out my channel for more great content and leave a comment below to share your thoughts on this story.